Here we go. Soak up the last of summer with craft beers, refreshing wines, and live music at Fridays in the Fountain in Crystal City. If you want details, go to crystalcity.org. Also, Pacers, we love them, and we love sharing a space with them. You can check out Pacers Running, their website. They've got several locations around the area. If you're a runner, if you're a walker, they got all shoes for you covered. We're right out of there, Pacers Clarendon, which is at 3100 Clarendon Boulevard, or you can go to runpacers.com. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Here we go.
What's the phrase that you hear every day? Hey, phrase. What's the phrase that you hear every day? Hey, phrase. What's the phrase that you hear every day? Hey, phrase. What's the phrase that you hear? Tune in, yeah, you gotta tune in. Sarah Fraser on the mic and she about to begin. The co-host with the most, Paul Wharton looking fleek. Take it from me, you should be listening. Live from the nation's cap.
Pop culture at its best.
No need a second guess. Separated from the rest. Entertaining nonetheless. Many topics to address. Sarah, she's so glamorous. The number one hostess.
Hey, Paul Wharton.
Hey, Fraser, what's going on, baby?
Hi, doll. Oh my God, everything is so good. What's going on with you?
Girl, I'm just living, girl. I'm up here I'm just trying to make it day by day.
Oh my God. Well, you look fabulous today, by the way.
Thank you.
Your hair's blown out, but it's pulled back into a ponytail. It looks really good.
Do you like it like that?
Yeah, and of course your skin's flawless.
Oh my God! Wait a minute. Something going on? Are you paying
yes,
my?
we need.
We have to have a talk.
Yeah.
What's all this lead up about?
No,
It's
I'm
like
just
right
kidding.
before someone breaks up with you. Like, okay, first of all, you look great. You never look better. It's going to be no problem for you to go out and get a new podcast.
Not a chance. Are you kidding? People are loving this podcast. More downloads than ever. People love the too much sex episode.
Ooh.
Lots of people thought it wasn't enough sex. I'm like, okay, I think we took
They
it to
want
the
more,
line.
huh?
Yeah, we don't need any more.
I mean, buy us a drink, why don't
I
you?
had to tell Dan to skip last week's episode, so it was all good. So much.
Did he agree?
Yes, he agreed
Okay,
to skip.
fantastic.
He's actually skipped the last 4 or 5 because we really talk about him too much. So,
okay.
Whoops, sorry, Dan. Anyway, you look amazing. I just wanted to thank you for being my fabulous co-host and friend because we're doing an amazing job, and I'm so happy that
couldn't
you and
love
I
you more.
get along so well.
I couldn't love you more. I'm going to tell you something.
Uh-oh.
I was talking to a friend, right?
Here we go.
We're all waiting.
Well,
First
usually
of all,
Paul starts in with, well.
everybody in this business is so insecure. It's like we're just waiting for something bad to happen all the time.
Oh, it is true. It is true.
But I have a friend that has a partner, a business partner, and the other person just, doesn't really do anything. And then the girl is like, I'm doing all the work and all this. I said, well, you know what? Me and Sarah really don't have that problem because we both have our strengths and we pull it all together. Like, it comes together really well. So I'm just really enjoying this moment of life, Sarah.
Yay!
Thank you.
Oh my God. Well, we have tons of stories to get to on this podcast. Tons of celebrity dirt to talk about. Of course, we have to weigh in on Kevin Hart's crazy cheating scandal. Also, I am dying to ask you too, President Trump has said that he wants a parade of the military this 4th of July where they're all going to parade much like Kim Jong-un, like Rocket Man's, crazy soldiers. So I want to know, honestly, if you think that's a good idea or a bad idea. And then, you and I have both been in relationships. We've dated a lot of people over the years. You're rolling your eyes. So, but have you ever wondered, do you have this problem, because I do, that you're attracted to people because they have qualities that you, maybe you don't have, that you like? Like for me, I always seem to attract quieter men, more reserved men, maybe more, less outgoing, because I'm super outgoing and I'm super over the top. So I usually attract the opposite, but those are the things that end up kind of making us bump heads.
Okay.
Well, now there's a scientific study as to why we're attracted to that and why it actually causes problems.
I'm interested in that study.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
We'll get to that.
Yeah.
How was your weekend? You and I were both hosting a fashion show. I have to tell you 2 crazy stories that happened to me.
I want to know, at that event?
Oh my God.
What happened?
You guys, I am so freaking embarrassing. I swear to God, the stuff that happens to me, and AJ and the intern can get on the microphone. So I'm not even going to say the fashion show, okay, that this happened at. I'm not, because we both hosted multiple events over the weekend. So I'm not even going to name the event that this happens at, okay? But this is story of my life.
Okay.
And by the way, I'm going to read some of the emails because we got quite a few emails. From last week's show. But one of the emails was like, hey, could you and Paul advise me on how to get more confident, in my life and my business? So I'm hosting a fashion show, and we're always on the microphone, and you're interacting with people, and part of it is kind of you're jiving with people and making fun of them, right? So I go up to this guy. We're at this fashion show. There's only like 2 men there, and I'm like, sir, you're like the only man here today. Like, what brings you here? I can't even believe. Like, how'd your wife drag you here? And he goes, I'm Gerard. And I go,
what?
Yes, sir, your skin looks amazing. God, you look so great. Who are you wearing today? Dolce & Gabbana? I'm Gerard. The guy goes, so people, no, I'm not kidding you. I am not, you ready to die?
That sounds like the guy that catfished me. That sounds like his voice. I know that guy.
Yeah. No, people in the audience are yelling at me. He's her eyes. His wife is blind, folks. Yeah, okay, thank you.
Oh, my God.
So you want to know how you gain confidence? Okay. You get yourself out there, you get on a microphone, you have moments like that, and you just keep it moving. And then I just went into, which is what I do when I get in embarrassing moments, I go, let's give this man a round of applause.
Yes.
What a great guy.
You can always come back with a round of applause. You can always come back.
I always give. So if you had a bad weekend, you didn't have that moment. And honest to God, AJ, our intern, was there, and she like witnessed it. And people were yelling at me like, he's her eyes. I was like, oh shit. Okay.
Wow. Okay, you should have said, well, what are you telling her? Yeah, what's your interpretation look, right? I want to know exactly what you told her how this looks. Well, there's a crazy girl hosting. She's crazy as fat shit. You're definitely happy you're blind today because she's a mess.
Oh my God, it was unbelievable. And then, these fashion shows, have you ever had like a fashion malfunction? So these fashion shows, they always want to dress you, right? So one of these fashion shows, they said, hey, we really want you to wear this outfit. So I said, sure. So I have not had a bikini wax in literally like 3 or 4 months since waxing the city.
Right.
Like April,
and I saw
right?
it close up.
Right.
Yeah.
So like my bush is out of control.
Shout out to Waxing the City. I mean, you all had some work to do that day.
So anyway, my situation, this designer is walking in, right? And she's got the dress or whatever. And I'm just sitting there with AJ, and I am like full, like bush is everywhere. And honestly, God, this designer looks right at my crotch, and she stops dead in her tracks. And she's like, do you need another size? I was like, oh my God.
What? Because of your bush, you went up a size?
So bad.
Oh my God. Oh my God. You poor thing.
Oh my God, I had the best weekend. So you want to know how you get confident? You just put yourself out in these moments and you roll with it.
You just roll with it.
So that was my weekend. What happened to you? Did anyone, honestly, my bush was so big, she wanted to know if I wanted the next size up.
Oh my God.
And she like stopped dead in her tracks. It was
wow.
embarrassing. It really wasn't. I wasn't that embarrassed. I thought, who hasn't seen pubic hair over the age of 16?
Sure. Yeah, you're a grown woman. This is what they get. You're all grown up now. Well, for me, the weekend was really interesting with the event.
Okay, what happened?
Well, how do you feel? First of all, I love when people support that don't know me, but they just see it on Instagram or something.
Yes, yeah, they come
and they
out.
just support us and they come out. A woman came who's fabulous.
Okay.
From Instagram, but she drove like almost 200 miles to get there.
What?
She drove.
That's amazing, Paul.
180 miles.
That's
to
incredible. You got a fan.
Right. So then you go like, okay, oh, that's great. Huh. That's odd. I mean, you know what I mean? You're kind of like looking around like, is there any place where, where's the knife? Where's the gun? Like, where's security?
Yeah.
And then another guy who I met at an event, of course, from Instagram.
Okay.
And he comes to all these events, but he kind of lurks in the back, to the side, behind stuff. And then he just kind of like appears. So I don't know. I just had a little moment the other day like, I don't know. I'm trying to promote these events, but I mean, I'm just out here.
It is scary. It is definitely scary.
And then I had the pressure because after the show, my sister was there, my cousin Vanita was there, and her daughter, and I was taking them to lunch after the show. And the woman drove 180 miles, and I'm just like, shit, should I take this lady to lunch? I mean,
that is pressure, yeah.
It was pressure, but I thought it would have sent the wrong signal, like, us married now, that kind of thing.
Oh, right.
Because she told me she wanted to marry me. I guess I left that part out.
She did?
She did.
Paul, you have
She's like, we can have a prenup. It's okay. I was like, yeah, but there's one other small consideration that we need to take into, we need to think about.
Yeah, but you've made it work with women once or twice before.
Yeah, for the night or for like, a month or two at the most.
Maybe you should try a series. Maybe it could be like a series, like Going Straight. Scared Straight, the redo, and then you could just be like trying to be straight. I think you could be.
I'd want a sugar mama though. I mean, she'd have to take care of me.
I know.
You know?
Well, that's why I'm wondering if she wants to sign a prenup. Does she? She must have something.
No, she was saying to protect my little couple of coins. I'm like, girl.
Oh, we're all set. No, don't worry.
We're good.
Actually, we'll roll the dice. You're okay.
Oh God, that's funny. But no, great weekend. And last night actually went to a fantastic event. It was for the Triple Negative Breast Cancer Foundation.
Oh, that was so great. I know. I wish I could have joined you. That looked. I planned,
it
but
was
that
the
was
Allison
awesome.
Gala, so it was fantastic. And a lot of my friends, Maggie O'Neill, Brooke, they came out to support. So yeah, doing great things in the community. Just having a good time.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. And, I want to get to a couple stories because there's so much that we have to talk to before we get AJ on here, and then also tell you about some great fan mail that we got. Paul, did you see, by the way, that the Navy staffer, the woman who at first people thought was a nurse, but she's actually just a Navy staffer, who was giving a baby the middle finger and then propping the baby up and making it like rap dance or to music, and now she's been suspended? Well, this has been all over social media, but 2 Navy corpsmen have been removed from duty after images of them messing around with a newborn baby emerged online. A second photo shows a staffer holding a baby by the arms and is taken from a video in which she makes the child dance to 50 Cent in the club. Have you seen this?
No, but this concerns me.
Why?
It concerns me because things that we do
me too,
in the street comes back. It's all I've never heard of people getting fired as much as I do now because of things that they do on their private time. Was this a personal time thing?
Shows a nurse
Here's the nurse.
A newborn baby just hours old dance to a rap
No, she's at work. She's at work. Look at this. Look at this. Okay, so the baby, did you see that?
Is the baby black?
No, I think it's almost, it looks like it's just born, like this newborn baby. It almost looks like a purple. It looks like it's not breathing, right? It's really nuts. And, see the little baby moving? Anyway, so the staffer's been removed, and now it originally was thought it was a bunch of nurses.
Okay.
But it actually wasn't. They're saying that this one was a Navy corpsman. She was not an official nurse yet, and she has been suspended. But the hospital says they're absolutely mortified. They've apologized. You can actually see the woman, too, in it. Happened at the Navy Hospital in Jacksonville, Florida. This
that's
video,
a bit much. I was thinking that it was something she was doing in her private time, and it was her baby.
No, but I understand what you're saying. Everyone gets fired now all the time.
Mm-hmm.
An investigation's
we
underway.
talk about some pretty crazy things on here. Can we get fired from something?
No.
I'm like, who can fire us? But there are probably 1 or 2 people that could. Do you know what I'm saying?
I see, but I never think that we really say anything that bad. Do you? I don't. Because I think when people get fired now, it's really all about hateful things.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You can't... I mean, I'm assuming you don't have any racial pictures from your past. I don't.
No.
I mean, I think that's the stuff that seems to get people fired.
Okay.
And we don't...
We just I overshare.
You can't get in trouble.
Okay, good.
Please, absolutely
right.
not. Also, authorities in the UK say that they are not going to do anything about a mystery woman who keeps crashing funerals so she can enjoy the buffet and free food, because she claims that she's been doing this for 14 years. This is in Berkshire, England.
It happened on The Sopranos.
It did?
Uncle Junior.
Oh, that's right. He used to...
Yeah.
Oh,
when he was on house arrest.
You have good context to that.
I love it.
But a phantom mourner who goes to a funeral at local churches is now being defended by the priest there that says that this woman he knows and says that she feels that it is her religious duty to attend as many church masses as possible. And the priest says that they are not going to ask her to stop attending funerals. I couldn't exactly say that to her not to come. That's really not what we do at the Catholic Church. She said, all are welcome to mourn those who have passed. Every funeral that we have, she comes and is there at the reception afterwards and then makes her way to the buffet or food without invitation. You think that's... do you think there's anything... Because I actually think... Okay, she finds like she's got a religious obligation, right? All right, that's sweet, right? I would, if people wanted to come and mourn my passing or whatever, I'd be like, okay, that's fine. Do you think it's the buffet part where she helps herself?
Well, I think at a certain age, like I have 2 great aunts, Aunt Mary and Aunt Barbara. They live in Cleveland. And every time I call, I'm like, where are you going? Oh, we're going over here. Juaneta's great niece's sister's friend from work died, so we're going to go to the funeral. You know, I'm like, what? Juaneta's great niece's sister's cousin from work but they just go to a lot of funerals. That's just, you get to a certain age and that becomes a part of your, I hate to say it, your social life a little bit. Because you go and you see people, you see what hats they're wearing and all this, and they go and do the repast, and somebody brings a bucket of chicken and somebody made potato salad. And I mean, it's just a part of their thing.
I don't think there's anything wrong with either. And she's there. What's she supposed to do? Not help herself to an egg salad sandwich?
Yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Come on, I don't see
Is she
anything
offering
wrong with
comfort
that.
to the families
Sure.
and all that? Yeah.
Well, it doesn't seem like that, but a prayer maybe.
Right.
Maybe
Yeah.
she gets out her rosary bead, says one of those.
I don't know. I don't think it's that deep. I don't want her
neither.
at my funeral. My funeral is going to be guest list only.
Okay, God, we're not.
You know what I mean?
Look, the interns
Oh, no,
are
you're not on the
pointing-
list.
the
I'm
interns
looking at both the interns.
Are
No.
pointing to each other. By the way,
Y'all
we're
be
going
ushers.
AJ.
You be on the usher board.
What? Yeah.
You be on the usher board.
He's
She
gonna
knows.
make me hear.
I'll take what I can get.
That's AJ. She's in. Paul, so scientists are saying that the scientific community is still somewhat divided as to whether people with similar personality types are actually happier in their relationships or not. Gretchen Rubin, who is an author, writes the new book, The Four Tendencies. And she says that when we first meet someone, we are often attracted to the very qualities that over time will drive us insane. And Rubin's observation is situated in her analysis of the four tendencies or personality types that exist in the world and how they pair up in relationship. You can actually take one of Rubin's quizzes to figure out which tendency you fall into. Here are the types: obligators, upholders, questioners, rebels. Obligators meet outer expectations but don't always meet inner ones. They usually need some form of external accountability. Upholders generally meet both inner and outer expectations, meaning they don't let others or themselves down. And questioners meet inner expectations. They'll only do something if they think it makes sense. Rebels resist both inner and outer expectations. If you ask a rebel to do something, they'll likely resist. Oh my God, that's a lot.
Oh, God, I wouldn't want to date that person.
Well, that's a lot of breakdown. Yeah, me neither. What do you think? Do you think which one do you fall into, do you think? That's just, I actually
That's
don't even
pretty
know.
tough. I
Yeah,
didn't hear myself in there.
I know.
What are my other options? Aren't there 6 maybe?
That's really, if you're an upholder, you live life according to a schedule. For example, you never miss your daily run. You always
Oh, no,
eat
that's not me.
fewer than 30 grams of carbs a day. You
Ooh,
always
no,
go to
no,
bed
no,
by
no.
11. I'm a little bit like that, though.
That's you.
Oh, God. Am I really that rigid?
Yeah. I mean, Miss Vegan 4. What is this thing she does?
Oh, I do Plant 4.
Oh, Plant 4.
Oh, yeah. Plant 4. I've created that myself, and I'm vegan 4 days a week. It's amazing.
That's you.
Oh, my
That's
God.
you
I
all
love
day
it.
long.
I feel so good.
So I don't know, in terms of relationships and the kind of people that I'm attracted to, someone tried to fix me up with someone that was like just like me in a way.
Yeah.
And I thought they were like batshit crazy. I'm
Yeah.
like, what are you doing? You know, you have these people, they know you're gay, and they see somebody else that's gay, and they're like, oh, 2 gay people, you should date. And it's like, this person and me, we both have sets of hot curlers. Like, this will never work.
But that's what they're saying might be
Yeah.
true. They're saying that psychologists said that over a 5-year period, they found that married couples with similar personalities, so maybe not similar curling rollers,
Okay.
but in terms of the 5 big characteristics, were more satisfied with their relationship than couples with dissimilar personalities.
Well, you know what? Maybe I should give it a chance. Because I never have. Because everyone I've ever dated is nothing like me.
So maybe you do need to find somebody just like you.
Maybe so.
See, I do think Dan and I have that. Like, we are both kind of rigid like that. Like,
Yeah.
we both have, like, a time, and we eat the same thing, and we do sort of do that.
But I get a little spicy. The only thing is, if I get someone just like me, if we get to fighting, I don't know. That thing gonna get ugly. I mean, you know what I mean? I need somebody that's like, I know you're going crazy. You just throw my shit out the window, but it's cool. I need somebody like that.
Yeah, you need somebody that will cool you down, like the
Right.
opposite.
Exactly.
Okay, so maybe an opposite would be good for you.
Yeah, we'll see.
You were telling me too earlier, are you nervous about your birthday coming up? Why are you having anxiety?
Well, this is the deal, and it's so interesting. I got this call from my friend Felix earlier. He called. Oh, probably shouldn't have said his name, but anyway, got a call from a friend. And last night I was out at that event, and then afterwards, 2 of my friends, Maggie and Brooke, we went out and we were just talking about my birthday, and I'm exactly 1 month from my 40th birthday. Okay.
That is amazing, Paul. That's
and
fabulous.
I look back on all of the years, and I've thrown a lot of people birthday parties and like done a lot of surprises and been pretty thoughtful with my close friends' birthdays. You know? And I just don't hear I don't hear anybody talk. Nobody asked me for any phone numbers, no list.
Oh
so
my
I don't
God.
hear anything going on, and it's starting to give me a little anxiety because I'm afraid I'll be hugely disappointed on my birthday if no one has planned anything for me.
This is us, so yeah.
Right, as she's biting her nails now. I don't know you bit your nails. Right, I'm staring right in her eyes, you all. Like,
Wait a minute. You told me you were planning your own 40th year.
What?
So I haven't done anything.
I'm just talking
somebody
shit.
Bag me up.
Who wants to plan their own birthday?
Why am I the man in this relationship? I thought you were saying. You said you're going back to Italy for a couple weeks.
I'm going to change that to November.
Okay, so now you're going in November.
Yeah.
So you'll be here through October.
Yeah.
But I had thought you were going to throw this fabulous 40th birthday party that was sort of in my
I don't want to throw
own-
my own party.
Okay.
I think it sucks that I have to throw my own party. I have all these friends. Look, I looked at the acknowledgement section of my book, Pulling It
Okay.
All Together, available now, pre-sale, Amazon.com, ships on January 16th. I looked at the acknowledgements, and I see all these names, yours being one of them.
Okay.
And I'm like, I acknowledge all these people in my book, and what have they done for me lately? If y'all's asses do not throw me a party, I am going to my publisher, and I'm like, let me revise this acknowledgement situation.
Someone get his phone. We got to throw this together hard. When is your birthday?
It's
Wednesday,
October
second?
16th.
Okay. Do you have any other friends that
Yes.
you think that...
No. You don't have to start it because I've already had this conversation. But the person today just had a birthday.
Sharice, Jordan Jackson.
No, but the guy, my friend who called me, just had a birthday, and he said to me, look, I'm going to tell you, you better tell the people what your expectation is.
Yes.
Because if not, you're going to be hugely disappointed because his birthday just came and went, and no one did anything for him. And this is a grown man that was like crying.
Okay, are you... So you're asking, you want a party thrown for you, right? I just want to make sure that I'm really understanding this. Okay.
Yeah, I need something.
Okay.
I need you all to show me
Okay.
how much I mean to you all.
Okay.
In the form of,
And
gifts and offerings.
do you have other friends that we could maybe go in on this party together?
Of course. And I have liquor sponsors and I have all that. I mean, it's just about putting the effort into it. You don't really have to pay for it much, but I mean, it would be nice. I want to unwrap something on my birthday. My birthday and Christmas, you got to wrap me up something. I'm sorry.
Oh, no problem. We're on it. Please, we were way ahead of you.
So anyway, yeah. So I am feeling a little plus with this kind of relationship thing happening in Italy and in Brussels.
Yes,
Figuring that out. Like, he's never sent me flowers. I think that's odd for somebody of means to never have sent flowers.
I do too.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Because even Dan, like when we first started the first year, he always used to bring me flowers.
Mm-hmm.
Like always, he'd just stop and get something at Whole Foods. He'd always do it.
And
I mean,
the
now
thing
we're
about
in year
it,
4.
and I know what some people listening to this might say, well, why don't you send him flowers? You're both men. And I would absolutely do that. But I'm waiting for him to show me because I'm always the one that makes...
Yeah, he's courting you.
Yeah.
Then where are the flowers?
Don't judge me, people. I want flowers. With the card, with the cashier's check. No, I'm just kidding. At least the flowers would be a good start.
Oh my God. Okay, well, we're on it. No problem.
You're
Huge
on it?
party on its way.
Okay.
Yes. In the meantime, for July 4th, do you think that it's time for the United States military to show its strength in a solidarity of a pride kind of parade? Not like the pride. Definitely, this will not be a pride parade. But
Why is he focused on all of these things that we already do well? Like, is this where we are?
Well, according to a transcript remark from the White House this week, President Trump, who was speaking to the French president, said that he is fascinated by Bastille Day and other countries that do a military parade, showing off their strength. And he, in fact, would like to see one happen for the 4th of July, where he says that the military would line up and all proceed. Do you think that we need to do that? Because actually, I saw this story being debated online, and a lot of people were saying, hey, I'm in the military. I don't think this is like crazy rocket man Kim Jong-un. I think that this would be really great. And I believe President Trump is talking about having branches of the military line up in March, much like you would see maybe like what North Korea does.
I think it's a waste of time and resources. I mean, I like the community feel. I like how communities get together where people live and they come together and they, have their 4th of July parades and that kind of thing. I mean, I'm really engaged in that. But I don't know. It seems like a huge waste of resources. And crazy expensive.
I'm absolutely with you.
And
I
if
don't
he wants
really
to
get
keep
it.
going to his golf clubs on the weekend, his golf courses, then we can't afford to do that. It's one or the other.
And
Give up something.
whatever happened to, speak softly and carry a large stick? Can't we get back to that? Like, why do we have to...
Now you're talking.
Why do we have to
This podcast is looking up. Give me a cigarette.
According to the Washington Post, President Trump's interest in parades isn't new. In January, before his inauguration, he wanted to show the military marching down Pennsylvania Avenue. The military may come marching down Pennsylvania Avenue. The military may be flying over New York City and Washington, D.C. for parades. I mean, we're going to be showing our military, he said.
Okay, well.
I don't know. Actually, I do like a lot of American pride, so I'm kind of on the fence on that one. Like, I know people aren't really happy about that one, but I sort of like... I feel like I'd be feeling really patriotic.
Okay. I stand behind it. It sounds like he's got, little dick syndrome to me.
Me too.
You know what I mean?
I think so too. I do too, but I don't know. It continues on. Ina Garten, are you obsessed with the celebrity chef Ina Garten?
I don't know if I'm obsessed, but I do enjoy her.
My God, I love her so much. I have all her cookbooks. I'm obsessed. She's on the Food Network. Her Barefoot Contessa.
I do, of course.
Well, she recently spoke to Katie Couric on Katie Couric's podcast, and she says that not once in her lifetime did she ever feel pressure to have kids, or she never felt badly about not having kids. And she says that she and her husband Jeffrey made the decision to have no kids so she could pursue her career. And she also is encouraging more women and families to choose a kid-free life. What do you think about that? I think that's great because I think most people don't ever say that. And I think that most women feel regret. She says, I've never had any regrets. And she says, if people were trying to make me feel bad about it, I never even noticed.
I was talking to a friend last night who is very accomplished as an entrepreneur. And she was saying that she's like, God, I got a 40-year-old uterus. And I'm like, okay, well, what does that mean to you? She's like, well, for the first time last week, my mom told me that it's okay if I don't have kids. And it was like such a release. I said, wait, you were going to have kids for your mom? Like, that's weird to me.
Oh, I feel the pressure all the time. And I go back and forth with this so much because I really think, I don't know, can you really have a big Oprah-style career and have children? I don't think you really can.
No, it's tough.
And not have them not really messed up?
Well, I mean, if you have an Oprah-style career, you definitely can afford to have other people raise your kids.
But I think, don't you think, like, on the way to get to Oprah, like, how are you going to have the kids? You can have them if you're already Oprah. But
I just think that kids are such a huge decision that I wouldn't base that decision on someone else's expectation, especially someone that's not in my relationship.
Yeah.
Like you can't do it for your mom. Her shot was you. And then, you know what?
Oh, I'm going to tell my mom that because she tells me all the time now that I'm going to regret it if I don't have a family.
But it's interesting with these celebrity cooks. I'll share a little story about these
Barefoot
celebrity
Contessa?
cooks.
Oh,
well,
what about her?
Not really about her, but I was telling someone brought up Paula Deen to me the other day.
Oh God, yeah.
Which
you actually have a good relationship with her.
I do. And so she had this whole, we don't like talk all the time or anything, but I was doing a holiday show back on the CW in, I don't know, was it 09 and 10, something like that.
Okay.
I did it for 2 years in a row. And I needed a big celebrity chef on each year. And I asked Giada, because they all came to town. Giada, and then the Neelys. You remember the Neelys? Husband and wife team, black husband and wife.
They got divorced,
They got
right?
divorced.
Yes,
She lost a lot of weight.
Yeah.
Now, Paula Deen was like the headliner, and then they were under Paula Deen. They both said, no. Giada said the show wasn't distributed wide enough for her. The Neelys said they didn't have time. Paula Deen, the big star, was like, you know what? First, they were like, I'm not sure if we can work it out. And then I sent an email back to her publicist saying, look, this is an important show for me. It's my holiday show. I need a celebrity. Google me. Look, please.
Yeah, I'm the real deal.
No,
right.
I need you to do this for me. And she was like, you know what? I told her, and she said, sure. She shows up. She gives me the best interview of my career. We're crying. She's talking about her grandmammy, hoe cakes. Taught me how to make hoe cakes. It was a whole thing. She brought my mom a book. She sent me a set of pops.
Wow.
Homegirl was down for the cause. Okay.
I love
the
that.
show was fantastic. She ended up coming back again the following year. So to do it again, and she brought me another book, and it was all that. So it was really interesting when that whole thing went down with her. I have felt a little bit like, well, I kind of want to share
How good she was
how
to
good
you.
she was to me. And in my book, I was going to say, I know that people feel a certain way about her. She apparently said that she used the N-word however many years ago. Okay, well, a lot of us have said a lot of things in our private lives that we don't want to come to light.
Oh, yeah, sure. Sure, absolutely.
What are you saying? You did too? See?
I was actually thinking about that the other day.
I don't know if we should go.
Okay.
We want to keep this thing on the air. That's all. Cut her mic.
Okay. Never mind. I guess I'll move on.
Right, exactly. But the black folks told me no. Giada, with her little simple butt, told me no. And Paula Deen, the big star. So, I just feel like...
Do you want to say it now? Let's write it.
I guess I kind of... Yeah, we should.
We should send this to Paula Deen.
I want to send it to her.
Paula, we did. I like Paula Deen. I think she's fabulous.
Thank you, Paula Deen, for that support, because she made sure that show got on the air, because I needed, a name... celebrity for that show, and she was it for
Paula,
2 years in a row.
When you hear this, will you send us your butter flavored chapstick?
Thank you, Paula.
I really want that.
She was so kind. Her teeth are gorgeous and her eyes are sparkling blue.
And she probably has huge diamonds now too.
She had diamonds and a fat Rolex with diamonds dripping in gold, and she was, Paul, you so sweet, Paul, you gonna make me cry, Paul. And I said, well, shit, let's just cry. It'd be great for my ratings. So we cried. It was fantastic. It was fantastic. I'll show you.
All right, changing gears a bit. Are you still friends with? Are you Sally Quinn? Was Sally Quinn the woman that owned the place in the Hamptons?
She still does, yeah.
And okay, so you did read the Grey Gardens. You read this latest story, right? Where Sally Quinn came forward this week and says that she apparently put a hex on 3 people and died. She now feels guilty about it. She won't be doing it again. This made me think of you, and I'm like, oh my God, I hope she doesn't do this to us.
What happened?
Yes, Sally Quinn gave an interview. She says she feels guilty about her hexes and will never do them again. She also says she refuses to cast a spell on President Trump despite her friends asking her to. She says, quote, believe me, since Trump was elected and since the election, I can't tell you how many friends have asked me to put a hex on Donald, and I won't do it, Quinn said at a book interview with USA Today. I just said, no, I don't do that anymore. Quinn also claims all the women in her family are psychic. She said her mother also put hexes on 2 people who died. There were 2 people who had hurt me very badly, and she said, and I just said to both of them, I hope you drop dead, and they did.
I've heard this. I've heard this about Sally. I didn't know that she was actually saying it.
Yeah. She says she feels really terrible about it now. I'm not going.
Coincidence?
Oh, she says, I'm not going into further detail about it. There's a sort of ritual. I like candles, music, fire, notes, all kinds of things. I just sort of make it up as I go, but I feel it. Unfortunately, bad things happened to these 3 people over the period of 5 years. Wow. Okay, we're staying on her good side. Is there anything you'd like to say to her? Positive.
No, I acknowledge her in my book. I give her a huge shout out. I actually do a whole page about finishing my book in her writing room, in Sally Quinn's writing room at Grey Gardens.
Oh God, we're giving her a big. Okay, yeah.
She's fantastic. Yeah. She's fantastic. Now I did hear, because a lot of people would have been very fearful of buying Grey Gardens at the time. For one thing, it was like a piece of shit when she bought it. I mean, there were raccoons, feces everywhere. Everything was, the floor had fallen through. It was crazy. But also, I did hear that she kind of embraced the spirits of that house, because there's a lot going on up in that house. It's pretty much, well.
I believe that. No. I think that's absolutely true, because
come on, Mike. It's haunted, right? And then that story breaks. Oh, great.
Hey, how much can I pay you to wear this new dad bod? This dad bod fanny pack. Have you seen these, by the way? Oh God, I don't want to unplug this computer, but have you seen this? So it's a new dad bod fanny pack that looks like a plump, hairy dad beer belly. You soon could be wearing these. Did you see this? And it's a fanny pack for dad. Comes in all different shapes and colors. Look.
I'm horrified. You know why I'm horrified?
Paul, look at this. There's the Derek. That's the black version. There's the Allen.
That's kind of me right there.
There's the Wolfgang, the Sherman, which is super hairy, maybe a Middle Eastern man, and the Magnus, which has 2 or 3 folds.
Okay, I'm horrified, because what if one day your shirt kind of rides up a little bit and somebody's like, oh my God, I love that new dad pack you're wearing. And you're like, my shirt just came up.
These are phenomenal. The dad bag, check out Pukey's site, Pukies. You can order them there, and it's a fanny pack for $30 that looks like a dad pot belly. It's a Kickstarter campaign, by the way, so you're not going to get it right away.
I mean, it's kind of cute.
I think that's hysterical.
It's kind of cute.
I'm going to get one for Dan. There are two things.
Yes.
One, our intern Joelle is
Yes.
going out on a date for the very first time with a black man.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Waxing the city.
Whoa.
Come in, waxing the city.
Yes, get a bikini wax. Do not make a mistake like me. People think you're a bigger person when you have like a lot of hair. Happened to me.
So what's the deal with it? What's going to happen? Does she know the details, Joelle? Do you know the details yet?
So remember when 3-day rule came in, the two women came in. Okay,
Yeah.
and they'd offered to hook Joelle up.
Yeah.
So they just sent Joelle a profile of this young man, this like handsome, I think he's super handsome. Joelle is super nervous about this date. She's not sure if she's feeling
So
this
she's being
guy.
kind of judgy?
I am not being judgy. I'm
Okay.
just nervous. That's it.
Okay,
Just
so
nervous.
let's see a picture of him. What's his name, by the way?
His name is
Oh, just the first name.
Daniel.
Daniel. Oh, well, please. Okay,
scare him.
that's easy enough. Daniel.
That's easy.
So, Joelle, you hop on the mic. You're how old?
22.
We always ask you this. Isn't this guy hot?
Oh, yeah.
Daniel.
Oh,
Look at
he's so
Daniel.
cute. How old is he?
25.
He looks so young.
And he's like 6'1".
Oh my God.
Nice. Do you think he's good looking?
I do.
Yeah.
I'm so nervous about it. So I'm like, I don't know what to do. I'm kind of freaking out.
So you guys are going out on a first date, but didn't 3-day rule they sent you a whole profile about him, right?
Yeah.
Have you read it yet?
I've read most of it.
Okay, so what's some of his like highlights? What are some things that we can discuss?
Well, I can read it to you.
Well, is he a client or is he just someone that they scouted?
They didn't tell me if he was a client or not, so I'm not really sure.
We need to know that because that will determine, if he's a client, he's paid like $4,000 to be there.
I know.
Wow. I don't think he would be, though.
You don't think so at 25?
No, not 25. That guy, he's
He
hot.
seems young.
Yeah.
So what are you don't have to read the whole thing, but are there some highlights about him? Like, what does he do or what are his hobbies?
It doesn't say what he does, but he was born in Newport News, Virginia.
Okay.
He spent most of his childhood in Johannesburg, South Africa, which I think is really cool. And I like to travel, and he's apparently, I think, going to Europe next week. So
You guys got to go this weekend.
we probably have to go on the date this weekend.
So
about this.
let's just to prepare you for this date because you're a little bit nervous and sometimes when you're nervous you forget what to say. So let's ask her a few
Let's not.
date questions. Just general date questions to kind of, get that thing moving, get that thing oiled up a little bit.
Do you have any what are you going to ask him? Are you worried about what the conversation will be or
I'm not because I know how to I can have a conversation with somebody pretty easily. I mean, and I have a bio here. I mean,
So why aren't you in a relationship?
That's a good question.
Okay, this is Daniel. I really want to go out on this date with you. Okay. Okay.
Why am I not in a
Yeah.
relationship? Oh, wait,
When's the last time you were
stop
in a
talking to me
relationship
like
and
that.
why aren't you in one now?
Because I don't know why. Because
Miss,
my relationships,
I know how to go out on a date.
suck.
So, what's your type? Well, first of all, white, blonde.
Paul's just gonna do this whole.
He usually has
whole
green
skit.
or blue eyes.
You see, I was like, oh.
Oh my God, I just want to hear Paul do the voices all day.
Yes.
So I'll play Joelle. So when are you going to, are you going back to Johannesburg anytime soon?
Yeah, I went over to Johannesburg about a year ago.
Why does he have to sound like
and
that?
I had a really great experience, and I just think that it's my calling to go and help the community out a little bit. So, yeah, I'm going back. You ever been to Johannesburg?
I haven't. I haven't. Daniel, it says here that you're undeniably masculine. You're tall and
Yeah.
muscular with a strong jaw, and you're not afraid of a little self-care.
No.
What do you do for
I
self-care?
mean, a little manscaping every now and again, just keep that thing right and tight, just in case things go right tonight, I'll just get you back to the crib and, you won't have no problems or nothing, you know where to find what you need to find.
It says here on the weekends, if you're not dancing with your friends or working out at the gym, that I can find you pampering your chocolate skin with a mud mask. It's not real.
Yeah, I just think it's real important, skincare and guys and everything, sometimes you think that, that's kind of a sissy thing to do when you take care of your skin. But, I think it's really nice. You got a nice little lady over at the crib and she wants to, lay up on you and rub on you. I like it to be smooth. So, what you think? How you think it looks?
I would say don't look too closely at my pores because I honestly don't do a lot of masks.
I got a nice charcoal mask for you back at the crib. If you want to come back to the crib, I can just put on some Luther
is this
Vandross and
3-day
get Look at your
rule.
charcoal mask.
It seems like your 3-minute rule. This seems like you're moving fast. Okay, so I think that was
fast.
good. Yes.
Yeah, if we're going on the
Listen,
date.
Daniel, you're moving kind of fast for me right now.
Oh my
Tell
God,
me
Paul.
something interesting about yourself that you, nobody might know.
Well, something nobody might know.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that a lot of people don't know about me. I'll tell you something interesting. I mean, everybody knows I do karate, so that works. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like that would be a good conversation
that,
starter.
Nobody knows. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't. We're not on that level yet, Daniel, and I think you need to slow your roll.
Check, please. Could you split that? Could you split that in half? We going Dutch on this.
Well, Joelle, this was for you because we also found a story this week about the new trend in dating is called breezing. So,
What is that?
breadcrumbing is when you string somebody along. Like you have little breadcrumbs, like where you give them little nuggets, like, hey, you look gorgeous today. And then I write back and I'm like, oh, cool, thanks. Like, are you up for a drink later? And
Hey, you don't hear anything
respond,
back.
right?
Yeah.
And then like 2 days later, he writes, hey, girl, what are you doing this weekend? Then I'm like, hey, nothing. You want to get together? Then he doesn't respond. Now it's called breezing. So any guesses as to what breezing when it comes to dating means? This is the dumbest term in dating ever because it
No.
essentially means remain breezy.
Oh, wow.
Remain breezy. Okay.
You're supposed to actually be more chill. Like everything's cool. You're all about just getting drinks or coffee when it's convenient, and you just have a genuine breeziness about you. You stop caring about the rules, expectations, or trying to be on your best behavior at all times. You just go for it. You're entirely yourself. Isn't this called just confidence? Isn't this what we're supposed to all have? What you do what you like, and you let stuff just breeze right on by. So if he doesn't text you immediately, you don't get hung up on that. You just text when you want to text. It's called breezing.
But that's how people
Not
are all
into
the
it.
time, right?
You're
I mean,
not
that's
into
how
it?
I am.
No, I'm not into it.
You ditch all the games. So you what? You want some games? You want some action? You
Well,
want
no, I
rules?
think that is a game actually. Breezing because cool, yeah, whenever it's like, yeah, no big deal, just whenever it's good for you, whenever it's good for me. No, it's good for me when you're obsessively trying to get me to commit to something, like because I always like them to like me more than I like them anyway. So no, breezy. In other words, you're just not that into me. That's not good for me.
No, I'm with you. Although I do have to say, when I was dating and I took the breezy approach, then things actually did happen. It's kind of like you just let go. And
Yeah.
it all comes together.
Yeah.
Okay, a couple things we need to remind
Yeah.
people. Next Thursday night, you are invited. We are doing a Carrots Couture cocktail party at Murtis
Yes.
Diamonds on K Street.
1700 K Street, Thursday, September 28th. From 5 to 8 p.m.
5 to 8 p.m. Come through.
Come through. We're going to see fashion from Hush Boutique. We have Elle as a luxury glassware line. All of Mervis's new stuff, Tacori, and all of their fabulous diamonds. We're just going to have a great party, cocktails, the whole bit.
And if you are in the market for a diamond, a gift for yourself, a push gift for your baby mama, whatever it is, MervisDiamondImporters.com. They have various locations. Tell them Paul Wharton and Sarah Fraser sent you.
Yes, please.
Please.
We'll be shopping there this Friday, actually.
Yeah, we will. We'll be there, and we'll be there next Thursday night, so
Sure.
come through. Paul, we got 2 really good emails that I wanted to share with you.
Please.
Hey, by the way, we need, so maybe Joelle and AJ, you guys can think about this. We need like a name for people that listen to this podcast. So because people write all the time, but they don't want their names used. So what can we call them? Like, you know how like if you listen to My Favorite Murder, they have murderinos,
Okay.
or if you listen to Howard Stern, you're part of the Whack Pack,
Frasier fans.
Well,
Yeah.
I used to have Frasiacs, but then
Frasiacs?
I feel like
That's
but then we
cute.
need
That's
to
cute.
include Paul. So what can they be?
Well, what's your
Paul-
name meshed
but-
together?
Polyacs and Frasiacs?
What are your names meshed together?
What would maybe
Paul and
Wharton
Sarah.
Fraser?
War.
Wardoff? The Wardoff.
Oh my God, no, horrible.
Let's think about it.
Okay, think about it, come back to it. Anyway, here's from one woman. And this is directly for Paul. She's a polyak. Sarah and Paul, I love this podcast. I eagerly await it each week. I've had to train myself to wait until Thursday morning to check it out because obviously you guys are late on Wednesdays. Okay, we know. Paul must go visit Michael, and here's why. This woman broke it down for you, Paul. Michael is Paul's longtime friend, lover, companion who fell into a coma about a year ago, and we're not even sure if he can really recognize Paul, but at some point Paul's going. But anyway, she goes on to write, from listening to the various podcasts containing info on Michael, it sounds like they don't really know if or how he is processing information. I think if Paul goes to visit, it will give them more info on Michael's condition. I think if he can see, sense, know that Paul is there, he'll be so emotional that they will either notice some change, such as tears in his eyes, or be more certain that he is not really processing info. Unless, of course, he also has amnesia. ... Sorry. This is like a soap opera. Okay. Even if Michael cannot indicate recognition in any way, I have to believe that he will subconsciously sense that Paul has not forgotten him. Keep up the awesome work, you all. Pauliac. What do you think? People are invested. I feel like maybe you and I should go. Like, I'll just fly you. Because I feel like you don't want to face that part of your life. Because it's sad. I feel like you are sad.
First of all, thank you, Michelle. You moved me. This is exactly how I feel. I do feel like if I go, he will recognize me and they'll be able to see that. And hit me on direct message on Instagram. Please, I'd love to talk to you. But that really means a lot that this woman has probably, because this is the way I feel. And it's been a lot of anxiety. It's something I push down and I just kind of keep moving because I could have gone by now. You know. I really could have. But I'm also just fearful of the closure, seeing him that way. Because I remember him like being spicy. I mean, one time when he lived with me in New York, this fool, let me tell y'all a story. This fool, we would go out, okay? And at a certain point in the night, he would say, honey, can I go like to the club by myself? And I would say, sure. And I would go to the other club by myself and we'd meet back at the house. Well, one night he got home before me. And, you know, he's an Irish guy, so he'd like to get his drink on. But when he wasn't drinking, he was so sweet. But he was a fool. Okay, so I lived in this beautiful brownstone in New York. And on the parlor floor, it had these beautiful original parquet floors. Not like the cheapy ones, but like the real nice ones.
Sure.
Double doors coming in. It was like a real fabulous New York apartment, okay? Duplex. So you go into you open the door, you know, in. You know, you push the door in when you go in. You don't like pull it out. This fool wrapped a rope around the door, around the handle of the door. He was mad that he got home before me and I was still out in the streets. He tied a rope around the door, took a nail, and hammered it into the parquet floor. Okay? Thinking that when I get there, the rope is going to pull and it won't let me in the door. But all I did was push the door in and the rope, you know, it would have worked if I would have had to pull the door. But I just pushed the door in. There was a rope tied around the door. And he just was standing there waiting for me to be locked out of the house. And we just burst out laughing. And I'm like, you damn idiot. You're supposed to tie it the other way. You don't have no sense. You don't even know how to lock me out good. So things like that. I mean, there was one time we got into a fight. We got into this fight in my apartment. It was in the middle of the night. I know my neighbors were like, I had to send apologies to everybody. Because, you know, me and him.
It was that bad.
Oh, we got into it. So anyway, we're just yelling. So we got into it, and he got so mad, and he's very muscular, very strong guy. He punched a hole through my closet door, and his hand went straight through the door.
Oh, my God.
Anybody else would have ran from him. I got up in his face. I'm like, you're going to pay for that. You give me that money right now. That's going to be at least $500. I want my $500 now. Before you lay head to pillow, you give me $500 for this door. And we would just burst out laughing at it. He's like, that's all you're thinking about? I was like, I want a new closet door. And some shit of mine got ruined on the inside. I want some new shit in the closet.
Well, Paul, we are all thinking about you because we know at some point you're going to go. And it will be very emotional. But
yeah. So I just think that, just to close this up, I just think that that's the pause that I have because the memories are so like still there.
Right.
But that doesn't change the reality. So I'm ready to kind of go deal with the reality of that.
Well, we'll be following up on that. And
Thank you, Michelle. I really appreciate that.
We got another message from someone on Instagram who writes, Sarah, if you want men to listen, you need a normal straight guy on the show. You may not care or aim for that, though. Either way, I love you, and I'm a huge fan of you guys. You liked one of my posts a while back, and it made my day. Do you guys think we need a straight guy on here once in a while, or do you think that? I feel like this show's pretty...
if you want one.
I'm a man.
I don't mind. I mean, you know, listen.
I think it's pretty straight.
I think it works, but, you know...
I mean, we're not adding anybody. We got 4 microphones already are full. We're not adding a 5th, okay? We're at capacity. But right. I just think it's funny that people...
Well, we can only be who we are. That's the thing, you know?
Straight.
I mean, I think it's... ish, right? Yeah. I mean, I just think that it's, you know, I don't think it's a black show. It's not a white show. It's not a straight show or a gay show. It's just us, and we're extremely authentic, and it may not be perfect all the time, but we kick it to you real. Woo! And it's coming from the heart, right?
Yes!
Because people don't share all this kind of shit in real life.
Right.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is. You just nailed it.
Yeah,
that's the tagline.
that's
You can always email us, Sarah@heyfrase.com, Paul Wharton Style at yahoo.com.
Got it, baby.
If you or your company is interested in advertising with us, we would love to have you on. We work with Mervis, we work with Bloomingdale's, Pacers Running, Crystal City Bid, and many more. Sarah@heyfrase.com and Paul Wharton Style at yahoo.com. AJ is here. You look adorable. She's wearing this cute, oh my God, Paul, I don't know. You're the fashion guy. What is this called? It's like adorable.
Little
this shirt.
embellishments.
Oh,
on
the
top.
embellishments are so in.
She got this top at H&M, and it is
Yeah.
so cute. It's green and white plaid with like little bugs
And
on
I'm
the shoulders.
loving this. Like, it's so hip right now to have a safety pin in the front like this. It's like so cool, and it's so now.
You know what, Paul? So I had a little rip, and I had to fix it, and I used a safety pin. Nobody noticed, but thanks for bringing it to everyone's attention.
She's walking around in a mini skirt with a safety pin holding it together.
Oh, I didn't even notice. Oh my God, we love you so much. And AJ came in this morning. We're really mad at you because she said, "Oh guys, I've got 2 job offers," and we're like, and I love Paul. Paul's like, no, you should take either
I'm
one.
like, that job sounds like it sucks.
Everything about it is terrible. Don't accept either.
Awful.
That's how amazing and talented you are. And I told you I got the best compliment
you're so sweet.
about you this weekend. I had a woman say to me, "Hey, when AJ first started, it seemed like she didn't know any of the stories, but now she really knows
Bitch
her
was
stuff."
off her game, and now she's really improved.
So you are on it.
You guys are the best. I have so much fun. And I think we do have a straight guy. Paul can just do his straight guy voice. And I feel like I was kind of weirded out, though. I have nightmares.
Oh, I know. It's so, isn't it? Because it's like completely out of body for him. It's
when
like totally different.
Exactly. It's like when you call those like sex operator lines. Not that I would ever know anything about that, but I feel like that's the guy's name, the guy's voice I'd be hearing.
I should
Late
do
at
that.
night.
Should.
You should,
And
guys.
pick
On
up
the
a couple of
side.
shifts.
Right. You don't need any other side hobbies,
Yeah.
please.
Oh my God, please let us record it while you're doing it.
We've got so much, guys. So
what do you got?
I had to bring to attention. Obviously, this has been everywhere. It's Kevin Hart.
Yes.
Once a cheater, always a cheater. I support him because he's a fellow comedian. I'm an aspiring comedian. But you know, it's like, come on, dude. I think I just, you guys have heard. So it's a whole extortion case where he's
I'm bringing up the audio, right? Because you
Yes.
want the Instagram apology. Is that what you're looking for? Okay, keep going.
So recent allegations came out that he cheated on his wife, and he was being extorted for $10 million from this clip that came out. It was kind of just like started out with a picture, then went to them off camera to people engaging in sexual activity. And then another picture of him and this girl that I will explain who it is after the sound clip. But he apologized on Saturday on his Instagram, and we're going to play that for you guys.
I'm bringing it up like right now. I'm just queuing up
Has anybody seen the video yet?
I haven't. I've only heard from TMZ that I read that it's kind of like it's somewhat sexually explicit or whatever. Oh, I think.
Right. So the middle part is just 2 people, and you can hear that they're obviously engaging in whatever, and then it cuts to a picture of him and this girl.
Oh, this is the sorry. This is the auto tune.
Yeah.
Millennial days.
This is Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart. Talk to him.
Oh my God.
I got a target on my back, baby. Because of that.
Yeah, baby.
I need to make smart decisions.
Show me what you're working with.
Yeah.
You know I'm sorry. Oh, they didn't do a breakdown. Hey.
Oh, damn.
Paul's breaking it down, guys.
Why is the audio so bad on this? Oh, damn.
Okay.
So
All right.
if you can't
Anyway,
get the gist of it, he's basically making an emotional apology on Instagram saying, I made a mistake, I'm not perfect, blah, blah, blah. His wife is pregnant, guys. He's done this before, and it's funny because just 3 months ago on the Breakfast Club, that show, he did a whole thing about, oh, I would never cheat again. Cheating is so stupid. You don't get anything out of it. 3 months later, this video comes out. And it's a whole.
But if
whole
you
ordeal.
know you're going to cheat, if you know, because he cheated on
Also,
his
the
first
technology
wife.
today. How do you think you're going to get away with
He
it?
cheated on the new wife. They just got married.
Right, and she's pregnant.
And she's pregnant. If you know you're going to cheat and you have a lot to lose, either be in an open relationship or you never have to apologize to anybody.
But wait, maybe they are in an open relationship.
But
Does
they're
anybody
not.
know that?
But they're not because, he's had to apologize to her and
Right.
it's this whole big thing and,
I'm with you. I don't know why they get married. I feel like Derek Jeter did it the best. He didn't get married till he was 40. He was a complete man whore.
George Clooney.
George Clooney. Yeah, but exactly. But you can't, even if they're caught with other women, it's like they're not married to them. So it doesn't matter.
Does the term, I just want to get this out of my system, really mean anything? I mean, can you ever really, is that just who you are?
Well, I
got it out of my system. Now I can get married.
I would say
once you find the one.
I have sort of loose pants. And I think it is
right. That's why I'm asking you.
That's why Sarah has
do you
not
ever
tried the knot
really
yet.
get it out of your system? I mean, do you?
I would say this. I feel like I tell you, I think you have to be, like he said, he puts himself in stupid situations. I'd be the first to tell you, if I seriously went out clubbing like every night, or on a regular basis, and I drank and I didn't get hungover and I could like smoke pot or do something and not feel like death for 3 days after, I would probably be having sex with all kinds of people. Yes, I think if you have that kind of like cheating thing, like you fall on people's penises, it's hard to stop. And it is. That's why I stay home. But
That's why I stay home and go to bed at 9 p.m. every night. That's why there's no chance of me dropping the pants.
That's right. And it works. I mean, I have to be very conscious of Dan's feelings, and so
no one really suspects the girl. Like, I'm glad that you're so honest about this, because everybody's like, has Dan cheated? But really, I mean, you're the one that's got to be locked up to the chained up to the bed.
I totally right. I completely, yes. This muff in all conditions.
Damn.
Whoa, that was deep.
Anyway,
okay.
I think it's hard, and especially if you're a celebrity. And like the woman, supposedly TMZ says that the extortion tape, Kevin Hart's so drunk and on drugs, like the woman is openly holding the camera. And he's like not even, I'm like, dude, you have a problem. Come on. Damn. But maybe Aniko doesn't care.
But she does.
Well,
I mean, she's been silent. She was just talking about the ex-wife, Torrey Hart.
Yeah, she was. I heard she did her crap, yeah.
Yeah, so...
The crazy thing is, supposedly his new wife was cheating on him when he was married to his first wife.
Yes.
And so now that, it's like, okay, you're literally...
he was cheating with the new wife on the ex-wife.
On the ex-wife, right. Mm-hmm. And so everyone's like, you should name that baby Karma. Mm-hmm. I got a name for you, and it's...
Right?
Karma Hart.
He shouldn't get married. I think it's so stupid.
He's already married.
I know. Too late.
Yeah. So anyways, the extortion failed. He's not getting $10 million because he already apologized, and the tape's out, and we're going to see what his wife...
She shot too high. Why didn't she start with $1 million? I mean, I'm not like down for the extortion.
10 mil is a lot, baby boo.
That's a lot. You got to be realistic with this.
I'm glad that he actually said so. I felt like he probably would have paid it, but $10 million is probably even a lot for him.
Right.
$10 million's a lot, yeah.
Yeah.
Moving on to bigger and better things. I have good news for you guys.
What?
All your Botox, you could possibly write it as a tax deductible.
Yeah, we already know that.
I need more. Okay.
I need more. Yes. So this new article came out from IRS.com. It's a stripper. She's actually a female escort. It's in Europe, and she wrote off her breast implants as tax deductibles.
Sure.
Okay.
And they released this article and said it's totally allowed under 2 conditions. Let me bring this up for you. So if the breast enhancement must be required as a condition of employment. So this strip club that she works at, and for the company, they wanted her to get enlarged breasts, and it wasn't just to a size D. These are like made into like, I need to go down the alphabet for these, like J's, like double J's.
Oh my God, double J's! Can you imagine?
Double J's. And then the second agreement is that it is unsuitable for everyday use. So these actually are not contributing to your everyday lifestyle, and it makes it even harder to live, but those are the 2 things.
Damn.
So your Botox may not be right enough.
They're going to do this, but this is happening in the UK, right? So we need to see if this can happen in the US.
I got to read you this about the exotic dancer. So her name is Chesty Love.
Okay.
She wrote off her expense of having breast enlarged. She's a professional stripper. She claimed it was a business expense, and bigger breasts would lead to bigger tips. The IRS had declared that enlarged breasts were a stage prop essential to her act.
Wow.
Good for her.
So I got to pencil in an appointment for me then.
Yeah, we look good.
You don't want breast implants,
I'm so kidding. No. Oh my God.
Your breasts are perfect.
I mean, Paul has seen so much of them.
That was a really bold statement.
Or should I say, your breasts are really, really good.
Oh God, we're all feeling uncomfortable. That was just really.
I've lost my appetite for 3 weeks.
Man, no. That thing down there is jumping.
I can't.
They know. They're looking at me. Everybody's kind of their hands a little jittery.
Okay,
they're all playing pussies with me.
We need an HR department.
Do we have that in the budget this month? What's going on?
No, we don't. But we'll sign you HR head Intern and news and pop culture.
Will this keep you? Will this keep you here?
Yeah, no jobs for you.
Oh my god. And then we got no, Paul, don't touch me. Oh my god. The studio is too small for all of us. And then did you guys see Dave Chappelle is in town?
Yes, I'm going tonight.
God.
Paul's going Friday night.
I'm going Friday. I totally missed out on
my
going
God.
to see
Paul,
Dave and Ed Sheeran and Frederick Yane, who's a friend of mine, last night at 18th Street Lounge.
18th Street Lounge, you missed out. They had a jam sesh.
I was totally invited. I said I was going to go, and I just totally forgot.
Oh.
And then, this is all related, but the Emmys was on Sunday night. Dave Chappelle actually gave out a shout out to DC Public Schools, went viral on Twitter. You know, he went to Duke Ellington.
Yes.
So awesome shout out. I went to school. I should have gone there, but I went like literally a block away.
Yeah. I love
All-girls
that school. I love that school.
Duke Ellington, now it's totally renovated.
Yeah.
Like millions of dollars. I would never got to see the renovation. But anyway, so at the Emmys, he's going off script, not reading the teleprompter, and then he goes into saying like, you know, and I want to credit DC Public Schools for, you know, saying like, you know, they don't have a good.
Yeah, he was like, I'm about to read this teleprompter. Shout out to DC Public Schools. By the way, I went to their gala they had the Duke Ellington gala on what, was it Saturday night?
Oh,
Saturday night. I was there.
Good?
It's fantastic. My friend Michael Hyder is the chair. And I went to that. It was fantastic. Great live music. And they actually talked about Dave Chappelle. They gave him a shout out. Mm-hmm.
Look at this. DC just getting all the shout outs.
Getting all the shout outs.
So let me know how the show goes.
I can't wait, you know, because I was saying this, which maybe Dave Chappelle just doesn't need any publicity and doesn't care, but it was funny because here in D.C., he did a 2-week residency in New York City and had all these guests that came up, like I think Jimmy Fallon came up, like all these people. And here, I feel like in D.C., there hasn't been a lot of publicity leading up. I don't think he's done any press.
Yeah.
And which maybe he doesn't need to, but we bought tickets last week, so I'm like, okay, well, I don't know.
How
There
is the
hasn't
show
been a
not
lot
sold
of
out yet? Yeah.
right.
And I feel like this is where he's from. He should do a huge publicity thing because he has so many fans.
I mean, we'll see. I'm excited to see the show tonight. Yeah.
I think
He's
it's
fabulous.
funny.
Yeah.
Love you guys.
Great.
XOXO,
We love
intern
you too,
AJ.
Oh, where can people follow you? Always. You're so
The
amazing.
Andrea J. Lopez on Instagram. And if you want to look at my impressions page, that's just Andrea Lopez Impressions.
Look. Or what do you do?
Look. I got a conference call too, so we got to make this short.
Uh-oh. See, they're saying too much. That's my private conversation with y'all before I start this thing.
That's her impression of Paul. We love when she does impressions of both of us. Oh my God, you're hysterical.
Gosh, I love you.
All right, you guys, what else? What else do we need to cover?
I'm good. It's all out there.
We love you. Keep checking out, share our Hey Fraser with Paul Wharton podcast. You can also check out Mindful Mondays. We're out this week, so people were loving that, all about how to give up dieting, lose weight naturally. If you subscribe to our podcast, Hey Fraser, you'll see the Mindful Mondays and some other interviews.
I love how we talk about diets and Paula Deen in the same episode. It's like, we love you, Paula Deen.
Stick 5.
Also, do you want to be on Plan 4?
Just download Hey Fraser podcast.
Good
All right,
luck on your
everybody.
date, baby.
Good luck, Joelle.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah. Bye, y'all.
Bye, everybody.
Yeah. Mwah, 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 mwah.
I hope that's how it sounds like when he kisses me.
Yikes.